Hi, I'm Chef Sanjyot Keer, founder of Your Food Lab. I'm a creator of food videos, primarily on Facebook, and I've been doing this for past 2 years. Food journey, I believe, started when I was really young. I always saw my mom cooking brilliant food, and at that time my father used to come home from office, and me and my sister, we never used to like sometimes when some dal or something very basic was cooked at home. So he used to just have a specific way of honking his bike's horn, and we used to come to know that he's come home, and we used to run, and he used to take us to have pav bhaji in the night. So I was about 11-12 years old at that time, and I used to watch the pav bhaji wala make the pav bhaji, and it used to fascinate so much. Like I used to be like so fascinated that how he's putting the masalas and the chutney and what he's doing. And because the reason was that when we used to dine at restaurants, we never saw what's happening in the kitchen. So street food was where someone was actually doing that magic, and you can actually watch that. So it was like a magic show for me as a kid. And whenever I got back home, I was so intrigued to actually go into the kitchen and try to cook. And that is when I was 12 years old. I told my mom I want to cook pav bhaji. And she was like, okay, so what do you need? So I was like, I'm a little scared with knives and stuff, but I'll try doing it. And started actually chopping and grinding things. And I made my first pav bhaji when I was 12. And surprisingly, everyone liked it. India did not realize that now there is a smaller screen in everybody's pockets, and you can watch content there. So food was not showed according to modern consumption. Nowadays people have a very shorter span of attention, so you need very fast content to be playing. So that is how I started with the concept of Your Food Lab. I was creating content, but there was always that thought that I want to create content for myself. But a very quick question came in from my father that what do you want to do next? Restaurant, whatever. And I did not have an answer. So I answered that, okay, I'll join your business, all right? And I started going to his factory, which was nowhere close to food. Engineering, which was XYZ for me, I never understood engineering. But I did that for a year. I helped him, and it was an amazing experience, learned a lot from him. How do you do business? In 2015, when I started going to my factory, I registered a domain, www.yourfoodlab.com. And I knew I'll do something with this later on. But I did not get that time, or it just did not click that, okay, now is the time to actually start doing something. One day I was just coming back home from my factory, and with my father, I told him that I'm not happy. And he was like, what happened? Do you want to not come to the factory? I was like, no, I'm loving it. I love that atmosphere. I'm learning a lot. But I'm just not happy because I'm losing the touch with food, and that is what I'm meant to be. And he asked me, what do you want to do? I did not have an answer then too, but I wanted Saturdays and Sundays off, which he offered very, he was like, you don't come to the factory, it's okay. So I just came back home. I had a DSLR, a very basic one, which I used to use for travel. I had a phone, and I called up a friend, and I shot my first recipe, which was a pav bhaji bruschetta, a fusion recipe. What I do a lot, Indian fusion food, and we just put it in a iMovie software to edit, and it came out to be brilliant. And that is when I knew that this is what I'm doing. And then I started shooting Saturdays and Sundays. Shot about 60 recipes in my library. Now someone would say like, are you crazy? Like, why would you shoot 60 recipes? Because I knew that if I shoot 5 and if they don't work, I'll stop doing this. I did not want to stop doing this. I knew I love it so much that at least I need 2 months of content to actually prove people that, okay, I'm meant to do this. After the 60 videos, the first video went on air on 25th of April 2016 on Facebook. and I just thought that okay, maybe 200-300 people will watch. I had 335 friends at that time on Facebook, so chalo utne to dekh lenge. And surprisingly, the next day it was like about 6,000-7,000 views. The second recipe at 6 o'clock again went on air. It crossed about 10,000 views. The third recipe, which was a no-bake mango cheesecake, it went on air the next day when I got up. 5 lakh or 6 lakh views, and I was like mind blown, like what happened? And within like about a week's time, it was like about 1.7 million views. And yeah, that was a time, that was a point that changed. Third video hit a million views like in about 4 to 5 days. That was something which I was not expecting to happen so quickly. I believed in myself. My first goal was 1 million followers on the page, but I thought it'll take about 2-3 years if it works, and I'll give that much time to myself. But 3 days and 1 million views was something which I was not expecting. So that gave me the boost to actually continue to produce videos and to post a video every day. I had thought that at least for 3-4 months I'll post a video every day, so that we get the kickstart. But that continued. We went on to produce a video every day. Obviously that part where money, how do we produce these videos, that question came to my mind. But I had a wonderful team who believed in me, and they supported me. Like whenever there was not money or there was money, everyone was so strongly knit that we created video no matter what, and the videos went online. About 4 to 5 months down the lane, we were at about 4 lakh or 5 lakh followers at that time. I got my first brand endorsement, which was one of the leading FMCG brands in India. And yeah, that changed everything. But then yeah, after that I started getting a lot of brand endorsements and did branded content on Facebook. And yeah, that helped. That got in the money. That got in the confidence that okay, now I am someone who actually can endorse a brand and influence people to use those products. So that built the confidence, and that is how we sustained until now. Monetization has kicked in on Facebook. Yeah, basic challenge what a creator faces is when I have to create a video every day. Now what to cook tomorrow? We've made about more than 750 recipes, and only 10% of them would be like just generic recipes like a biryani or a dal makhani. And that is also that I've started to do now because my viewers want me to make such recipes. But other than that, I have made all recipes which you won't find on the internet. It's something new, something unique, fusion, new recipes. So I like to do that. So that is a challenge, but that is not a negative challenge what I see. That is a very positive challenge what I actually face every day, to cook something new tomorrow, and that keeps me going. So I try to be a little ahead of other creators. I try to create more videos and keep it in my library. When others try to copy, I am actually thinking about something else at that moment. I have actually shot something else. We work on different content. That is how I started with the concept Your Food Lab Junior, where my 4-year-old nephew Ian, he started working with me as a chef on the show, and we made a series completely dedicated to kids and healthy eating habits and making junk healthier, and it went viral. The thought of Your Food Lab was to change how food is watched digitally on your screens in India and globally. So to make a mark on television and also on your mobile screens, that how Indian food is watched globally, to be present globally is my next aim. We are still present, like about 20% of our viewership is around the world other than India, but I'll want that viewership to be at least 50% internationally. There's so much to Indian cuisine. Today, when we talk about putting Indian food scene on the global map, there are restaurants, there are chefs like Vikas Khanna or Zorawar, or so many other people who are putting up different amazing concepts around the world. But digitally, I believe that there's a lot to do. 2 years back, if I would have told anyone that my career what I'm opting for is going to be like making a recipe video of a minute and I'm going to upload it on Facebook, I think that person would have laughed at me. It was a very silly thought according to everyone. If I would have killed that thought, I wouldn't have been sitting here. My one video which I uploaded on Facebook on 25th April 2016 that moment changed my life completely. These 2 years have been the most beautiful years of my life, and I believe this is going to keep me going throughout my life.